The road had already proven perilous. Frodo Baggins, carrying the One Ring, had barely escaped the grasp of the ringwraiths. Wounded by their cursed blade, he teetered on the edge of the abyss, slipping further into the darkness. His journey had only just begun, yet he was already marked by the weight of the burden he carried. But hope remained. His only chance was Rivendell, the last homely house of the elves, where wisdom and healing might yet save him. And there, in the halls of Elrond, the fate of Middle-earth would be decided. This is part 2. The Council of Elrond. A race against time. Frodo's wound burned like ice, the venom of the Morgul blade spreading through his body. The further they traveled, the weaker he became. His vision blurred, the world fading between reality and shadow. He could hear whispers, ghostly, terrible voices calling to him, beckoning him to fall into darkness. But his companions would not let him falter. With Strider, the mysterious ranger, leading the way, and his loyal friends, Sam, Merry, and Pippin, at his side, they pressed on. Strider had revealed himself to be more than just a wandering guide. He was Aragorn, heir to the throne of Gondor, though he carried his lineage like a burden rather than a crown. Yet even Aragorn could not hold back the tide of darkness. The ringwraiths were relentless, their shrill cries echoing through the forests. Frodo had little time left. As the enemy closed in, fate intervened. From the trees emerged Glorfindel, an elven lord of Rivendell, his presence radiant, his horse swift. Seeing Frodo's dire state, he wasted no time. "Put him on my horse," he commanded. "The ringwraiths will not stop until they have him. But Asfaloth is faster than their steeds. He must ride ahead alone." The plan was desperate, but there was no alternative. With what little strength he had left, Frodo was lifted onto the elf's white horse. And then he rode. The hooves thundered over the earth, the wind howled past him, and behind, they came. The 9 Black Riders, cloaked in terror, gaining ground. The river ahead, the ford of Bruinen, was his only chance. If he could cross, if he could just, but the Nazgul would not let him escape. "Give us the ring," their voices hissed, chilling him to his core. Frodo, barely conscious, gathered the last of his will. "You shall have neither the ring nor me." The ringwraiths surged forward, only to be consumed by a raging flood. The river, summoned by Elrond's magic, roared to life, washing them away in a furious torrent. Frodo collapsed. The darkness took him. The last homely house. When Frodo awoke, he was in a soft bed, warm light streaming through the windows. He was alive. The weight of the wound still lingered, but its evil had been driven back. "Welcome to Rivendell," a gentle voice said. He turned to see Gandalf, his old friend, watching him with kind yet wary eyes. "You gave us quite the scare, my dear boy," Gandalf continued. "But you are safe now." Frodo sighed in relief. He had made it, but something in Gandalf's tone gave him pause. "What happened to the ring?" Gandalf's smile faded. "It is still in your possession, Frodo. And, because of it, a great decision must be made." Elrond, the wise and noble Lord of Rivendell, had summoned a council. Representatives from across Middle-earth had gathered to determine the ring's fate. For though it had been hidden for centuries, the world was shifting. War was coming. The Council of Elrond. In a grand hall, beneath the banners of Rivendell, the council assembled. The elves, dwarves, men, and wizards, all gathered for one reason: the ring. Seated among them were Elrond, the wise ruler of Rivendell; Gandalf, bearer of great knowledge; Aragorn, the hidden heir of Gondor; Boromir, son of the steward of Gondor; Legolas, prince of the woodland realm; Gimli, son of Gloin, representing the dwarves; and, of course, Frodo Baggins, who, though small among these great figures, was the most important of them all. Elrond spoke first. You have all come here because the shadow grows in the east. Sauron's power is rising once more, and at the heart of this war lies the One Ring, found at last. Boromir, the proud warrior of Gondor, scoffed. Then why not use it? If it is a weapon of such power, let us wield it against Sauron. No, Gandalf said gravely. The ring cannot be used for good. It was made for one purpose, domination. It will corrupt any who wield it, even the strongest among us. The room fell into tense silence. Gimli, full of dwarven stubbornness, stood. Then let us destroy it. He drew his axe and brought it down upon the ring. The blade shattered. The ring lay untouched, gleaming in the firelight. It cannot be destroyed by any craft of men or dwarves, Elrond said. Only one place in all of Middle-earth can unmake it, the fires of Mount Doom, where it was forged. A murmur spread through the council. Then Legolas spoke. It must be taken to Mordor. Boromir scoffed. A fool's errand. How can any hope to walk into the very heart of the enemy's land? A voice, small but unwavering, broke through the noise. I will take it. All turned. Frodo had spoken. The weight of those words settled heavily upon him, but he knew the burden was his. He alone could carry it. You shall not go alone, Gandalf declared. Aragorn stepped forward. You have my sword. And my bow, Legolas added. And my axe, Gimli grunted. Boromir hesitated, then nodded. If this is our path, then you have the strength of Gondor beside you. Sam, standing at the edge of the hall, could take no more. Mr. Frodo isn't going anywhere without me. Merry and Pippin jumped forward as well. And neither are we. Elrond, seeing the resolve in their faces, gave his blessing. Thus shall it be. 9 walkers to oppose the 9 riders.